May I proceed?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Lyons.
Howdy.
Now, you used to actually work at Chuggy's, right?
I sure did, for a little bit of time.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about September 24th, 2010, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the first time you went to the bar that day was at 4:30, right?
I reckon around 4:30.
And when you went there, you saw Miss Dawson, correct?
That's right, I was having myself a good burger, Angus beef burger.
And you saw that Miss Dawson was drinking a rum and soda, as you said?
I think they call them rum and coke, something like that.
Oh, rum and coke, okay. And the bartender actually set that rum and coke down next to 2 empty glasses, right?
That's right.
And those glasses were the same as what the rum and coke was served in, right?
Yeah, they're all the soda glasses.
Okay. And at this point, from your observations, you thought that Danny was buzzed?
I kind of felt it a little bit, but I wasn't for sure.
Okay. And it was at that point that you offered a cab ride to Miss Dawson for the end of her evening.
And of course, you know, Daddy's got to pay the bill somehow.
And she responded to you, no, DD is going to be the DD tonight.
That's what she said.
Now, Mr. Lawrence, designated driver is often abbreviated DD, correct?
Well, I'm not Mr. Lawrence, I'm Mr. Lyons.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lyons. Designated driver is often abbreviated DD, right?
That's what the hoodlums call it, at least.
So, the next time you saw Miss Dawson was at about 11 o'clock that night?
Well, no, I actually saw her around 7 o'clock, too.
Well, the next time you actually had a conversation with Miss Dawson, was it around 11 o'clock?
That's right, I came in because I needed to go to use the restroom.
And from your observations of Miss Dawson, her speech was slurred, right?
It sounded like it, but you know, it was so dang loud in there, I couldn't really tell.
However, Mr. Lyons, you would agree that you thought her speech was slurred, right?
That's right.
And you saw Miss Dawson at the bar, right?
I sure did.
And the bartender poured what Chuggy's calls a chuggy bomb, correct?
That's right, some type of energy drink.
It's actually an energy drink mixed with liquor, right?
That's right.
And you saw Miss Dawson chug one of these chuggy bombs, correct?
That's what I saw.
And then you subsequently saw the bartender place another rum and soda on that tray, right?
Yes.
And then Miss Dawson went back to her table, right?
That's right.
And then, from there, you saw Miss Dawson outside, correct?
Around 12:30.
And that's when you also offered Miss Dawson a ride again.
Of course. Now that band was finished playing, so there was lots of customers coming out of that bar.
However, you did offer a ride to Miss Dawson specifically, correct?
Oh, yes.
And she said she refused your offer, right?
Yeah, she had her own ride that night.
And then she said, besides, you drive too slow, right?
Guess I don't have the best reputation in the cab business.
So yeah, she did say, besides, you drive too slow.
She said that.
And then you saw Miss Dawson get into the car,
Yes.
and you saw her, as you would characterize it, speed off, right?
Speed off.
You saw Miss Dawson speed out of the parking lot, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Improper conclusion.
Your Honor, the witness would simply be testifying to his rational perceptions of the events of that evening. Miss Dawson would be driving quickly out of the parking lot.
Your Honor, may be heard?
Yes.
The Officer Ryan Foster's testimony earlier, they say that Miss Dawson was speeding. Speeding is a legal term that states that someone's driving over the speed limit. For this witness to characterize something as speeding would mean that he would have to have some knowledge as to how fast the car is driving and how fast the speed limit was at that point. There's no foundation laid as to what the speed limit was at that point in the parking lot and whether or not she was actually speeding.
Do you wish to be heard?
Your Honor, the witness, because it was in a parking lot, the witness can rationally perceive if Miss Dawson was driving too quickly for parking lot conditions. Mr. Lyons.
But that's a different question than whether she was speeding. I think counsel's objection goes to the term of art, speeding.
I can rephrase the question if you like.
Okay, so your objection will be sustained as to the term.
So when you saw Miss Dawson get into the car, you saw her drive quickly outside of
She
Chuggy's parking lot.
fishtailed out of the parking lot.
And you heard Miss Dawson's tires screech too, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty wet road that night. All the cars were screeching all over the place.
Now, I want to talk to you about Canyon Road, okay?
Uh-huh.
You've driven on Canyon Road a few times, right?
Oh, more than a few times. That road's really tough. It's only got one light.
So you'd say you know Canyon Road fairly well.
Like the back of my hand, I do.
And on September 25th, 2010, it was raining very heavily that evening, correct?
Well, no, not in the evening, in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Towards the end of the night, when you saw Miss Dawson, it was raining heavily, correct?
That's right.
Now, you know Canyon Road to be dangerous, correct?
Yeah, that's what's heard in town.
In fact, you've had conversations with Ms. Dawson about the dangers of Canyon Road.
I have.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any redirect?
No